to mathematics lesson. Today in mathematics we'll look at numbers, and under numbers we are still on counting, representation, cardinality and ordinality. We are still on counting, representation, cardinality and ordinality. So by the end of today's lesson, you should be able to compare and other whole numbers up to 10,000 and represent comparison using the symbols greater than, less than, and equal to. I'll take that again. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to compare and other whole numbers up to 10,000 and represent comparisons using the symbols greater than, less than, and equal to sign. Alright, let us move on to our keywords. We have two keywords. The first keyword we have compare. Compare. And then the second keyword we have symbols. Symbols. Let us explain our keywords. The first keyword we have is compare. Compare. Compare is to measure or note the similarity or difference between two or more things. To compare is to measure or note the similarity or difference between two or more things. So when you want to know the difference or the similarity, if they are the same or they are different, then it means you are doing what? You are comparing. And it comes back to the word comparison. That is to consider, okay, to put something into consideration. That is comparison, to know whether something is similar or it is what? Different from the other. So that is compare and then comparison. And then our second keyword, we have symbols. Symbols. Symbols, it is a mark or sign or a word that shows or is understood as representing an idea or object. So it is a mark or a symbol or a word that shows or it is used for understanding an object or an idea. So it is a mark or a sign or a word that shows or is understood as representing an idea or object. So a symbol is put there to replace an object or to replace an idea. So when I do this, this is a sign which is representing something that I want to say. It is representing an idea or an object that I wouldn't want to what? Mention. So if I do this, it is representing an idea. Instead of saying the word for this, I put this down to represent that thing that I wouldn't want to do what? To say. So that is what? Symbol. So in this lesson, the symbols that we'll be using are these. So when I put this here, you understand what I'm trying to mean. You understand this, and then you understand this. So this is a sign that is representing what I want to say. So this is what? A greater than sign, a less than sign, and then an equal to sign. Very good. So this sign represents greater than, this sign represents less than, and then this sign represents the equal to sign. Good, children. So in our previous lesson, we spoke about place value and the value of digits in numbers. So we realized that the places or the place value of numbers are represented with thousands, with hundreds, with tens, and then ones. So if I put this number or these digits under each place, it should tell us the position of the what? The digits that we have. So this is 4. Where does 4 fall under? So 4 is under the thousands column. So the place value for 4, we can say that it is what? Thousands. What about 8? Where can we locate 8? 8 is under the tens column. Therefore, the place value for 8 is what? Tens. Now, we spoke about value, how much, the worth of the digit. So, if 8 is under the tens, what is the worth of the 8? So, we said that 8 is under the tens column. So 8 is under the tens column. So 8 will be what? 80. I hope you get that. Because we said that the tens comes in what? 2 digits. So if there are no numbers at all here, the 8 represents 80. And then if we have 4 here, the 4 is under the ones column. That is the place value for the 4. And the worth of the 4 is what? 4. Because it is under what? Ones. I hope you got that right. Good. Now let us move on to today's lesson. So today we are comparing, and then we will represent this comparison using symbols. That's the greater than, the less than, and then are equal to sign. Good. So children, in comparing numbers, we first count the number of digits. The more the number of digits, the bigger or greater that number. So you count the number of digits the numbers are having. We know that thousands have what? 4 digits. Hundreds have 3 digits. Tens has what? 2 digits. And then ones is having what? 1 digit. So you compare using the number of what? Digits. Also, if the number of digits are the same, we compare them starting from the what? The ones or the left side. Now let's look at an example. Okay, so let us look at our number place. We have the thousands, the hundreds, the tens, and then the ones. We know that the thousands are what? Always greater, followed by the hundreds, then the tens, and then we have the ones. So when comparing, it depends on where or what the number is. Now let us put in some numbers or digits under each place. So we have 7, 6, 3, and then 2. So 7 is under the thousands column, 6 is under the hundreds column, 3 is under the tens column, and then 2 is under the ones column. So the lowest number or the lowest numbers always start from what? The ones, because they are made up of what? Single digits. So the value of this 2 will be what? Just 2, followed by the tens. So the place value for this 3 is under the tens. So the 3 becomes what? 30. Then we have the hundreds. The 6 becomes what? 600, because it's under the hundreds column. Then the 7 is under the thousands column, so it becomes what? 7,000. Then I have another number, 5, 4, 8. You realize that with this number, there's no what? Number or digit under the thousands column. It is starting from the what? The hundreds, because it is made up of 3 digit numbers. So the ones, we have the 8, the tens comes as 4, and then the hundreds, we have the 5. So our first number is 7,632. I told you that our last 2 numbers goes together. And then this number is what? 548. So let's compare these 2 numbers. First of all, we said that you can compare using the digits, the number of digits you can see. So this is made up of what? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is what? 1, 2, 3. So definitely we can say that 7,632 is more than 548, because we have 7 here and then there is no number here. So the first number becomes more. So which symbol are we using? Now we have the greater than, the less than, and then the equal to sign. So greater than always comes in this form, with the right hand like this. So the mouth is always ready to swallow the big number, and then the elbow pushes away the small number. And then we have the less than, that comes with your left, this way. And then the equal to sign, which shows that both numbers are what? The same. So which symbol are we putting here? We said that the greater than what? Swallows the bigger number. So we have this. It means that 7,632 is more than 548. Good. Okay, children, let us compare these 2 numbers. So we have 6, 5, 4, and then 2. And then we have 2, 3, 7, and then 3. Let us compare using their place values. The first number, we have 6. So 6 is under the what? The thousands column. And then this 2 is also under the thousands column. Now let us move on to the hundreds column. We have 5 here, and then 3. We have 4 under the tens, and then 7. And then under the ones, we have 2 and 3. So let us look at these two numbers. Which one do you think is greater than the other? We compared using their place values. Look at the first number. We have 6 and then 2. 6 and 2. Which number is bigger? Definitely it's 6. So this number becomes 6,542. And then this becomes 2,373. So which symbol are we putting there? I told you that the greater than always swallows the bigger number, and then the less than pushes the small number away. Good. So we have the greater than sign. So it is swallowing the bigger number and then pushing the smaller number away. Good. So we have our story problem. We'll take the numbers and then compare using the symbols. Okay, children, let us read what we have on the board together. Abena has 230 chickens and Jifa has 460. Which of these children has a larger number of chickens? So we realize that they are both having 3-digit numbers. That is what? 230 and then 460. Which symbol are we putting there? Is it the greater than or the less than? Remember the rule. The greater than swallows the bigger number, and then the less than pushes the small number away. Good. So we have this. So the less than sign is pushing the smaller number away and then swallowing the bigger number. Okay, let us look at another example. So assuming you go to Makola. Do you know Makola? Yes, it's a very big marketplace. So you go to shop A. So you realize that the shop has 300 wallpapers. And then you move to shop B. Shop B is also having 305 wallpapers. Which shop do you think has the less number of wallpapers? Is it shop A or shop B? Put the numbers under their respective place values and then know which symbol to put there. Good. So 305 is greater than 300. Now let us look on our screens and then do this assignment. Okay, so compare the following numbers using the symbols greater than, less than, or equal to. So I have 9,464 and then 7,398. Which one is greater and which one is less than the other? Or are they the same? So you do that for question 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Good. Now let us move on to the next assignment, our story problem. Okay, read the story problems below. Compare the numbers and put in the symbols greater than, less than, and then equal to. So number 1, Church A has 3,005 members, while Church B has 3,500 members. Which church has the most numbers? Number 2, Kwame bought 400 mangoes from a fruit vendor, while Kweku bought 398 mangoes from the fruit vendor. Compare the numbers and determine who has the most mangoes. Now the last one. A box contains 992 books, and a metal trunk also contains 986 similar books. Which of the bags contain more? So these are the assignments. Make sure you complete them, and then when we meet on Zoom, we'll continue from there. Be safe, and I'll see you all later. Bye.